Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, September the 29th. Maureen Doering is with us, all Paws Medical and Behavioral Center. And she's over there with her little friend Connor, who is just smiling up a storm today. This is the happiest I've seen Connor looking.
Well, he loves to go walking and by himself, and that's what we did.
Connor was a rescue dog. He was a puppy mill dog, wasn't he?
Yes, and you know what? I got him when he was 8 years old, and that was 4 years ago. So, which is hard for me to believe, and we've enjoyed and loved every single day. But because he's getting a little older, I thought I would talk about, as pets become more into the line of senior citizens, some things that you can do to help them. And some of those things we do for Connor, and some of those things right now he's doing beautifully and doesn't need it. But some of those things that you'll see is they start to have some problems with their joints. Sometimes even a hardwood floor is a little bit too slippery for them and difficult for them to get up as well when they have some arthritis.
So how do you make that easier?
You make it easier by sometimes you can just get an area rug and put that in a strategic position. Plus, having their toenails a little bit shorter helps. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to jumping up and down on things, which they sometimes don't do as well, you can have a step up, which for our cats, they love that. So we have a little step up, even a little stool, and they get up on that, and then they jump up to the next surface. But for a dog, sometimes they're not used to stairs, and so they don't want to climb a stair to get up on a couch that they normally would jump, and it frustrates them. So sometimes a ramp works better, and they make ramps that are easily put into your home.
I've seen those. In fact, a friend of mine has a ramp for his dog to climb up into the car.
Yes, which is perfect and such a big help because it's difficult for them to maneuver even normally when they're young dogs to get into the cars the way they're shaped sometimes, and the ramp helps, and then as they get older it helps even more.
So what are some of the signs of a pet moving into senior years?
Well, sometimes it's just as little as they are not wanting to go out on their walk or not wanting to go as long, which I do see a little bit with Connor, but Connor has always liked to go at his own speed in his own direction, so we're mindful of that. And sometimes you'll see that they're not eating as well, or sometimes you will see that they're not seeing or maneuvering as well or hearing as well. Their senses will sometimes diminish as they get older.
And especially when you talk about not eating as well, cats can be very finicky.
Finicky, yes.
Very finicky, and as they get older, they may become a little more finicky.
Yes.
What can you do to entice it? Because it can really be frustrating if you're trying to get your cat to eat and it just kind of looks at it and walks away, say, make me happy with something else.
Exactly.
I mean, they have that attitude about them.
They do. And some doggies do too. So I think, and I call it spicing up the food, but adding just a little something to their food sometimes is all it takes, just being a little creative. Now, you want to do that by talking to your veterinarian and make sure if they need a low-fat product, that's absolutely easy to do. So just to give you some examples, my guys, I give them the 98% fat-free little cans of chicken, and what I do is just take not even a teaspoon of the chicken with some broth. You can do the same thing with tuna, with salmon, anything like that, but you can take that or even a little bit of chicken broth by itself or beef broth, but the low fat makes it very easy for them to take it at any age, a tiny little bit, and then even a little bit of warm water will bring out the flavor in the food and stir it around a little bit.
You mean with the canned food?
The canned food and the dry food. I'll take a tiny little bit with the dry food and it still will be hard, but I'll kind of stir it around, and that attaches the flavor to each piece.
Okay, what about putting a little bit of dried garlic powder? Do cats?
This is the thing. Garlic sometimes will not be good. Garlic and onion for dogs and cats.
Okay, so don't do that.
Do not do that. Yes,
Okay.
and don't use salt at all either, because so you want to minimize the salt, because as they get older they can have some heart problems, and you don't want them retaining fluid.
Can you put a little bit of oil, vegetable oil in? Or
You
would
can, but really I find the best if you go with a 98% fat-free on the chicken, and it's a flavor that they really love.
broth.
The broth, or even just a little taste of the chicken, those little cans that they make of chicken, where you can take just a little piece of chicken and a little bit of broth, put that on there, stir it around. You would be amazed how far that goes in the bowl of food. And sometimes they love it.
Finicky eaters.
For a finicky eater, sometimes you do have to change the food, and I put out what I call a smorgasbord. So I'll put out several foods and let them say, hey, I really like this one. Or you can add just a little bit of food to the food that you're feeding and see, oh, they pick out that food. That's probably the food.
Yeah, I've got several
but
different...
work with your veterinarian, because you don't want to do something that
right.
would be too rich for them.
I have
as they
several
get older.
different cases of food for our older cat, Meowser, and I just alternate each day, give them a different taste.
I think as long, again, as you're talking to your veterinarian about it, for some animals, they would not like that. My guys literally on about the same food, do the same brand of food at least during their life, and do very, very well, and then I spice it up. But so some animals like change, some animals don't. So knowing your animal through every phase of their life is the best. And if you see that they are slowing down, if you see that they're not hearing you when you call, if you see that they're not seeing as well when they're walking, all of those things you can help them with and guide them and learn a new way. If they're not seeing as well, you don't want to all of a sudden start changing furniture. If they're not hearing as well, sometimes you can find a tone that they will hear, and so they will come, and also learning some hand signals with the doggies. But keep them walking and following you and doing the things that they love best with play and things that are attaching them to you. And the other thing I love as they're getting older, and even when they're younger, is massaging their joints. Massaging helps the circulation, it helps their joints, it alleviates pain. It's a fantastic thing to do. And if you need guidance on that, I'll just give you an example. One of my staff members, Priscilla, is amazing. She's taken courses in animal massage, and I'm sure other veterinarians and other places have that too, so that you can watch what she's doing and she will teach you, and it really helps and bonds you to the pet.
If you want more information, you can give Mara a call at 573-896-4040, All Paws Medical and Behavioral Center. Always a pleasure to have you and Connor here. Thank you, Mar.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Connor. Keep smiling. Bye-bye.